Alright, how are you doing? Welcome to 100% Jim. I am Jim Pugh and this is the Oculus Quest 2. It was released recently on Tuesday the 13th of October 2020 and that's just under 1.5 years later from the original Quest 1, which was available on the 21st of May 2019. So you might be wondering, why was it released so soon afterwards, and is it any better than the original Quest? So watch until the end if you want to know if it's worth it. Well, first let's talk about the price. It's £299 for the 64GB version and £399 for the 256GB version. That's £100 less than the previous Quest. Both prices are the same in dollars. Facebook, who originally bought the company Oculus for $2 billion in 2014, are probably selling this headset at a massive loss. The cheaper price for a much better headset seems a little dystopian to me. This may be because their goal is to get 1 billion people into VR. Maybe they want to mind control us and turn us into freaky looking androids like the Zuckerberg. So, other than profit, what could the reasons be? After you hit the like button, please let me know in the comments if you have a theory on this. So anyway, storage wise, depending on size, you should be able to fit around 30-40 games and apps on the 64GB version and 4 times that for the 256GB version. The Oculus VR operating system steals about 11GB of your storage, and the average size of the games are around 1GB in size. Some games and apps are free on the store, but most cost something, so unless you plan to go mental and spend the $8.99 to £30 per game to fill up the 256GB version, I would just stick to the 64GB version, which is the one I bought. Plus you can always uninstall and reinstall stuff if it gets full. It's worth remembering the storage is not expandable with an SD card, so in the end the size you go for is up to you. Moving on. The display for the original Quest has dual OLED panels which are 1440x600 pixels per eye. The Quest 2, however, has a single LCD panel providing 1832x1920 pixels per eye. That's around 50% more pixels, so what you see will appear sharper than the original Quest. You will notice this on everything you look at, including in Netflix, YouTube, the home screen, apps and games. The screen door effect that other people complained about on the Quest 1 appears not to be noticeable, which is a bonus. If you don't know what the screen door effect is, it's like you're looking through a slightly distorted clear plastic sheet. The field of view is very slightly smaller than the original Quest. This is the effect where you see black on the edges and far sides of the screen. It's meant to be slightly more noticeable on the Quest 2, but personally I don't notice it to be any different. The lenses have 3 positions for the gap between your eyes. You have to manually grab the lenses and move them between the positions. I use the narrowest setting as I have a narrow gap between my eyes. The widest setting, for all you SIDS out there, is meant to slightly reduce your field of view. From other people's opinions on videos I've watched, it doesn't seem to detract from the experience. When the system gets tested with high performance games and apps, it uses something called fixed foveated rendering, which means that where your head is facing is the sharpest image and the edges are more blurred. You can notice this if you keep your head still and look at the corners of your view. They use this system to keep the refresh rate and performance high all times. In real life, if you move your eyes and keep your head still, this doesn't happen. So this could be fixed in the future when they bring out new VR headsets, when they implement combined eye tracking and head tracking at the same time. The refresh rate for the Quest 2 can be turned up to 90Hz compared to the original Quest, which was locked at 72Hz, which makes things appear more smoothly in VR and lessens the chance of suffering for those that experience motion sickness with the first Quest. However, 90Hz mode is only enabled on the menus and the browser at the moment until Oculus unlocks it. Developers are also currently working in 90Hz mode in new games and may patch current games. There is a way to unlock 90Hz for everything on the Quest 2, but it involves some finer geekery and goes back to normal if your Quest restarts or powers down. In my opinion, the average user is better off waiting for Oculus to bring out an update. The controls are slightly larger than the original Quest, and the tracking is substantially improved. They have 4 times battery life of the original Quest, which is awesome, and it lasts for months rather than weeks. The buttons and triggers all seem to be responsive and well made. There's also a place to rest your thumb. They also vibrate, so it gives you a sense of touch and feedback when you interact with objects such as picking things up or firing a gun. The vibration strength can be turned up or down in the settings. There is also an experimental feature called hand tracking. Hand tracking works best while standing or sitting, but not lying down in bed. I had it set to auto, so it would turn on when the headset sees your hands are empty, and then you can see your virtual hands and use them as a controller in the menus. But I turned it off in the end, as it annoyed me because it was buggy and not very accurate, and kept doing things I didn't want it to do, like scrolling and clicking. Maybe on a future software update they could improve it. There are also a few games that use hand tracking. I've seen videos and they look fun, but I haven't tried them yet. The headset comes with a cable which is good enough for charging, but if you plan to play PC VR content with it, it will be too short. You can buy a 5-meter Oculus link cable for around $79 or £89. It's expensive in my view, but should be guaranteed to work. I have linked a much cheaper third-party cable in the description if you want to take a look. However, if you have bought the app A Virtual Desktop for $20 or $14.99 in pounds, and you probably should have, as it is the go-to app to play PC VR content on the Quest and the Quest 2. You can play PC VR content wirelessly using it, as long as your wireless router is capable of 5 GHz Wi-Fi or higher, and you've installed the Virtual Desktop on the Quest 2, the Virtual Desktop Streamer apps on your PC, and then sideload the Virtual Desktop VR patch on the headset. So yes, this means you can play Oculus and Steam VR exclusives wirelessly from the PC, like the new Half-Life Alyx.
Gun! Don't worry, it's unloaded. It's unloaded now!
Combined channel's really picking up. They know you're coming. You need to get out of here, now.
Approaching target. Exposing hostile in 3.
Which is pretty cool. I will cover this on a future video. The processor on the Quest 2 uses the Snapdragon XR2, which is 3 generations higher than that of the Quest 1 and twice as fast. The XR2 also has a better integrated GPU called the Adreno 650 compared to the original Quest called the Adreno 540, which was slower. This means everything is snappier and games and apps load much quicker. It also has 6 GB of RAM, up from the Quest 1's 4 GB. The Quest 2 is also a bit smaller and lighter than the original Quest, weighing in at 502 grams. That's just over half a kilogram compared to the original Quest, which weighs 571 grams, which is slightly more than over half a kilogram. This means that it should feel lighter than the original and sit more comfortably on your face. Talking about the headset and its face cover, it's pretty comfortable for short use, but can still leave red marks on your face if you have it on too tightly and wear it for too long. The face cover can be replaced by more comfortable third-party covers such as VR Cover. Just a quick word to VR Cover, sponsor me if you like. I'll put a link to you below. The stated battery life is 3 hours, but it's more like just over 2 if you play complex games with 90 Hz enabled. You can also greatly extend your battery life and comfort by replacing the supplied strap with the official Elite strap with battery. When wearing the Elite strap with battery, I have heard that you can't even feel the headset on your face, and the battery lasts many hours more, but I will have to test that when Oculus send me one. I will link both versions of the Elite strap below. For a side note, if you have a long enough USB-C cable, then you can wear the headset plugged into the wall while watching immersive VR content on the Oculus browser or the apps, YouTube, Amazon Video or Netflix, on the sofa or in bed. It's amazing being teleported to a nebula in space or a giant cinema catching up on your favourite shows. I may do a video on the YouTube, Netflix and Amazon Video apps because the display is much better than the original Quest. Overall, you can't go wrong with the Quest 2. It knocks the Quest 1 out of the park on both price and performance, and even its competition for much more expensive headsets. I forgot to mention, the Quest 2 seems to run at a much cooler temperature than the original Quest. The Quest 1 seemed hotter, which really annoyed me and made me feel very uncomfortable and sweaty, but I was using it in summer 2019 and my room was already hot, so don't take my word for it until I test it next summer. I have a feeling that the Oculus Quest 2 will go out of stock before Christmas 2020, so please let me know by checking my Amazon affiliate link below. Also, if you buy one using my link, I will get a little kickback. It will cost you no more, but I will promise to reinvest the money back into the channel. Whenever and wherever you are, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like the video, leave a comment and subscribe, because I have some interesting VR videos to come. If you're interested, I also have a Patreon and social media links below. I'll speak to you later in the next video. See you later.